saw an interesting question that was posed to the men of the world. The question was, what's one thing you do as a man that could be considered feminine by other men that you're willing to admit you do? It's a funny question, but I also sat down and thought about it. What is it that I do that could be considered feminine, and others could theoretically clown me for? So the first thing that came to mind is something that I've said I do on here. I've said it, okay? I do yoga. Now, if you consider that feminine or not, I feel like that's a very broad exercise that a lot of people do. Everybody needs to stretch, but it is probably a very it's a feminine, it's a female heavy activity, right? But I do that because I'm old and I need to fucking stretch. So if I find feminine for that, then fine. But the the other thing that I came up with, that I thought, okay, this maybe there's a possibility in the realm of things, the realm of masculinity that I could be, clowned for. Are called a little bit feminine because of it. We all know that women, when it comes to smells on men, you like a good masculine smell, right? Something musk. Back in the day, my dad used to wear Old Spice. Probably still does, to be honest with you. But like a good musk, something that's very, smells good, but also smells like it should be on a man. Because we all know there's a difference between, a perfume, which is for females, and cologne for men. But it's not even that. It's not even like colognes. I'm talking about, say, soap or body washes. Like, the soap that's geared towards men is, shit like Irish Spring and shit like that, or things that smell like they should be coming from a man. I'm going to be honest with you. I like fruity smells. Okay, I like fruity smells on females, but I also like them on myself. Okay, so when I pick up the body wash, I'm not picking up, whatever shit they're, gearing towards men, right? I'm picking up the fruitiest shit you can find out there. Like when you get close to me, you can be like, "Ooh, mangoes." Why'd I all of a sudden get a hankering for mangoes? You smell good. My goodness. Smelling like peaches? What? That's me. That's what I'm putting out there in the world. Like when I'm washing up, like that bathroom is smelling like edible arrangements in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come out smelling the same way. I don't know. Is that feminine? Is it feminine to want to smell, like country apples? By the way, back in the day, at was it? No, what is the name of the not Bed Bath and Beyond? No, what is the fucking place that had all the lotions and shit? I cannot remember the moment. Country Apple was the lotion you get. Country Apple was it. Like if I'm dating you, I'm buying you Country Apple lotion. Here, put this on. I like it. And I like what it's doing to me. And I had it for myself. I like to smell fruity. I'm just saying, does that make me fruity? I don't know. I'm just saying, I like to smell fruity. I ain't never had any complaints. I mean, I like that. Nothing wrong with smelling a little citrusy. And a little citrus scent going on. But hey, If I'm feminine forward, then whatever. Because I don't wear cologne anymore. I haven't worn cologne in like 20 years. It's not my thing. I don't do cologne anymore. I don't. It costs a lot of fucking money, and I do find a lot of it to be a little bit overbearing, a little too much. I do some of it does smell good, but I just don't do it anymore. So you getting this edible arrangements over here? You were getting the edible arrangements of aroma, and if I'm feminine for that, then so be it. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing yoga. And I'm smelling like a fresh picked, strawberry or something. Like I said, I ain't had any complaints. So this is the JC Weekly Podcast, episode 25. At the 25, we are moving right along. As we always do, let's get the socials out of the way. TikTok, JC Weekly Talks, Instagram, JC_Weekly, YouTube, JC Weekly, where you can find the JC Weekly Podcast. And I've started kind of dabbling a little bit in the vlogs. I got a vlog up. I've already added another one that will be put up this week. So I'm just dabbling. They're not great. They're okay. I'm just seeing what's out there. I swear I've been looking over my shoulder. The curtains are off my windows down here and sliding glass door, and I'm paranoid. Not that I'm scared someone's gonna look at it. I feel like it's a whole. It didn't help. I just watched a horror movie, but anyway, I got the vlogs coming out. Got the podcast on there, and also you can listen to the podcast if you don't watch the video. You can listen listen to the traditional way on all your podcast streaming platforms on JC Weekly Podcast. So, and you know what? Let's take a quick break. Let me run over and get a water because I done got hoarse all of a sudden. All right, we're back. Vocals properly lubricated. Let's get to it. Let's get back to it, rather. What I'm going to touch on, I'm trying to decide what I want to use as the middle topic or what I use as the ending topic. Because I found them both to be interesting enough. Let's do this one. So when folks are in relationships, there's trust that has to be had between folks. I saw a female ask. That bottle's gonna pop. I saw a female ask, when you're in a relationship, do you share locations? Is that something, so that you can always see where each other is all the time? Always is, just any old time you can pick up the phone and say, hey, where's babe at? You can see. I think that's fine. The thing is, I don't think it's necessary to be sharing locations. Because I think it even if there's trust there, I think it breeds mistrust, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you leave the house, you say, hey, I'll be back later. I'm just going to such and such. You divulge the information. I feel like just walking at the house and like saying, all right then. Like, it's not a good way to, I think you should always say where you're going. Like, hey, I'm heading out, blah, 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 blah. But if you're sharing locations, you say I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And you actually are. Say in the middle of the outing, there's a pivot. You decide to do something else. You do the first thing, but you and your boys, you decide to pivot. Now your girl will hit the old location up. Say, oh, what's he doing here? Like, what are you doing at the 7th? What are you doing at the 7-Eleven? Who you meeting at the 7-Eleven? You all the way across town. Then you get that phone call. You got to explain the whole situation. Like, why are you watching me? All that kind of shit. That's why I feel like I understand the idea of wanting to, like, share location and show, oh, I ain't got nothing to hide. It gives off that. Like, I ain't got nothing to hide. Ain't no thing. You can see my location. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to hide. But then when situations like that happen, that's when it grows mistrust. Because, like, oh, you're somewhere you said you wouldn't say nothing about this. What what are you doing there? And, like, people's minds start to going. People are going to overthink a lot of things sometimes. And so when that happens, now there's an issue. Now from that moment forward, even if I have a conversation about it and there's a resolution, that moment forward, there's still the mistrust. There's a little bit of seed there. And then it starts to become a habit of always checking location, like, right? So I feel like it's probably not a good idea to share the locations. Just be like, hey, I'm heading out. Hey, I'll see you in a little bit. I'm heading out such and such, and going about your business. She goes about her business. Trust you enough to not even think about you, whatever. She watches her shows. I don't know, whatever she may be doing. And vice versa. She leave the house. She's like, all right, have a good time, and no one's gonna feel the need to be opening shit up, to be looking like, oh, where they at, and that's also, like, I feel like will be becoming an addictive thing, right? Would be, you might not really want to know where they're at, but you do it once, right? You see where they're at, and you keeping tabs on them. And you're like, oh, no, it's ain't no big deal. Then you really, and it kind of becomes a habit. You just open it at that location app, all the time, and always looking, and it's kind of to be a bigger issue, more obsessive type of thing of knowing where someone is all the time, and then from there, mistrust starts to bloom again. Like, it's this. I don't think it's a good idea. I understand. Hey, I understand people that might do it, and it works well for them or whatever. Or maybe people not without trust issues at all, and they don't even they share it, and they don't even ever open the fucking apps up. They even look, don't even care. I understand it for, like, safety measures, but the female actually was talking about saying, like, hey, my best female friend has my location, but not my man. Which I think is healthy. That's healthy, right? I mean, he don't need to always know where I'm at and what I'm doing. That's a weird behavior. He don't always, he don't. That's what basically kind of what she's saying. Doesn't need to always know where I'm at. Not saying I'm doing dirt. I'm just saying at one time in our lives when there weren't cell phones at all, no one knew where anybody was. We were just out. when I was in my 20s, leave my parents' house. I was like, all right then. And I was just out. They don't know where I'm at. It's the same thing. This is, we've gotten too used to, like, having a lot of information. And I feel like it's a little detrimental, especially in a relationship. Too much information is going to be detrimental. So for me personally, like, I'm easy to. I feel like, hey, we ain't got to share. We ain't gonna share locations. If I'm asked to share locations, I'm be like, all right then, I ain't got nothing to hide, whatever. If you see, but it becomes to be a thing where, like, oh, I've shared my shit, right, and now you're calling me 24/7 asking what you doing here. Now we need to sit down. We're gonna have to sit down and have a conversation about this because I ain't share it to be doing all this now. Let me know what you think. Please, anybody in the comment section. Let me know what you do in your relationship. Would you share? Do you share? Good, bad, and the ugly of it. So has anybody watched the show Insecure from Issa Rae? I know it's a handful of years old now. I should probably maybe longer. I don't know, because she's kind of doing a podcast run because they're so many years old now. The show is so many years old now. And so I'm seeing the clips and they're talking about things. And the specific topic you don't have to have watched the show to understand the topic. But just to give a little context, Issa in the show has like an old flame type guy that she went to college with. They kind of, if I remember correctly, they kind of had a little something in college, but it kind of, went their separate ways. But she's always kind of held a flame for him. It's kind of been always that guy for her, right? Always kind of holds a flame for him. And she ends up, I'm not gonna spoil the show if you haven't seen it, but she ends up doing whatever. Drama ensues. So, go watch the show. It's a good show. But they were saying, so the guy's name is Daniel in the show. And the question was brought up. So they used the term Achilles dick, as in Achilles heel, saying Daniel is her Achilles dick, which is funny. To make that kind of term, because to be honest, watching this show, and I think this in real life as well, I don't think there's such thing as an Achilles dick. It's an Achilles person. He just happened to have the dick attached to him, But either way, she was asked, was Daniel her character's Achilles dick, and do all women have this? Do all women have an Achilles dick? They're like, oh, that's the kind of person they always going to have this thing for, right? Her answer was yes, all women have that. But she also added on that the Achilles dick person, the person that gives them the best sexual experience in their life, is just that. The Achilles dick is never the person they end up with. And her reasoning is because she thinks that person, all they had to offer was good dick. Okay, good sex, right? But nothing else. Like, they can't be. I think that's kind of, she's taking broad strokes there. She's taking broad strokes. I feel like there's probably guys out there giving some good dick. And they provide other elements to the relationship as well. They're good guys, they're supportive, this and attentive, whatever. They do all these things. She's taking broad strokes, but we're going to roll with it. What I want to know is that that's really a thing. That is there a guy out there we're not going to say all women. We'll say some women, most women, whatever. Is there a guy out there that they have dealt with at some point in time in their life that we can call their Achilles dick? Do women really have this? Or is this just, we're going to call this a TV show thing? Do women really have this? They had that one person they in a 15-year marriage, they still think about this guy every once in a while. They happen to see him. Like, it's still, the experiences they had with this person are still fresh in their minds. Like, the women have that. What's funny about it to me is that how I feel like women and men differ. Like women will find that, in quotations, good dick, that good that sexual partner that sets their world on fire, right? Now, if they stay together or not, that's besides the point. But there'll be that one partner that was just, they laid it down. They laid it down, all right? And they get kind of, according to this, get kind of attached. I think that's a female thing. I think that is a female thing, to get attached to a sexual experience with a person. And it's always there, lingering in the background. Because men, pussy's pussy. I'm not saying like all sexual experiences are on a level playing field. There are some that are better than others, but in the end result is the same for men. Because men get hard off a cool breeze going through, much less orgasm. I feel like as long as men get the orgasm, that was a top-notch experience. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. It was great. I don't know if we put, like, if there's someone like, oh, that person's, my experience, that sexual experience with that person. Now, this is me speaking. Generally speaking, I do think generally that's probably true. Men are just like, we're just Neanderthals, animalistic and shit like that, I do think you probably could, get attached to a situation, right? Because I do think that, picking a single body part is what you're attached to. It's a little, I mean, people do be sleeping with people just for that reason, though, even though they hate everything else about them. In the show, she didn't hate everything else about him. I think she liked him as a person. But do women be having the Achilles dick person? I need to ask this question of women. Like, do you have that person? I mean, I don't care if you're in a relationship, not in a relationship. Do you have that person that's still in the back of your mind? Like you think about the sexual experience you had, and like, if you saw them, you would feel a way, and it would, a lot of emotions would come back to you. And would it be enough to, like, would it be enough to make you leave or cheat or anything like that? Like, that's basically what it's saying. Like, that person, like, is that kind of, they have that kind of draw, right? Which is funny. It's a funny thing. I mean, Achilles dick, the term is weird, and funny in itself, but I don't know. I can't see a lot of men having that. And we all know it's because women, emote better and, carry their emotions better and express them better than we do. And they have a lot more than than men do. So I'm not sure we would get attached to that one specific body part or sexual experience. I could be wrong. I need other opinions is what I need. I need other opinions on this. I need other opinions, specifically women. But I would love to sit down with like multiple women with multiple situations going on in their life, whatever they're in, and ask them like, oh, is there that one guy out there? And we ain't got to like just talk about just the sexual part. Like, is there one guy out there, like, from 15 years ago, that if you saw right now, like, oh, like a lot of push down, suppressed emotions will just come right back. Like this, just within seeing them or talking to them or whatever. Like, is there always that guy? I feel like everyone in general might have a person. Actually, I'm not gonna single it out. I'm not gonna single it. I feel like that you meet so many people in your life and deal with so many people in your life. There's probably multiple people that can fit in this category. Like, oh, and there's something about them, whether it be the sexual experience or the everything else experience, that that resonates with you, and it just always sticks with you, and you always think about that person. It's like, if it just worked out, or if we'd met in a different time, or if whatever. Maybe we could have been something. Maybe, this, that, and the other. There's always the maybes, the what ifs out there, right? I think we all have a what if person or persons. But kind of what I was talking about earlier. I had let me bring this up so I can get it directly. It's kind of this. We're going to segue right into this because it's kind of all in the same thing. What I said earlier about how men and women differ in this situation. This girl said, "Girl talk. Does male nudity affect women the same way female nudity affects men?" Just genuinely curious. And of course, all the women were like, "Nah." And the thing is, I knew that. It's so funny. Men can see the same pair of breasts 50 times in a row, and every time it's like the first time we seen them. We are excited the same level every time we see them. But please, I will watch you get out the shower every day and enjoy it every time. I will actually run and act like I could do something in the bathroom when you in the shower. just to see. Like men, it's just this. And it's so funny. You would think it would be something that would get, like, it's not even a sexual situation. Would get old. It's this it's what it is really. The female body is much more a work of art and more beautiful than a man's body is. And she's specifically talking about male nudity, so I'm sure she's talking about his dick. I think women would be more attracted and more turned on with a man wearing pants and no shirt and, like, sweaty and like ripped, and like, fucking Michelangelo's David looked like, whatever, just cut head to toe, looking awesome. They would be more attracted and turned on by that image than they would an image of top covered and seeing just a dick. Like, this is flaccid dick. I don't think they would not all of them, because they want to see all of it. But I'm saying, I think the majority of women, they're gonna be more turned on by the hard body than they are the just seeing his dick, like, whatever. That's why, there's such a, women don't appreciate, the unsolicited dick pics, right? It's mostly because they're unsolicited, that part, but also the fact that it's not, it's whatever. They don't care. Men will take an unsolicited anything. I don't care what just send it. It's new every time. We love it. But it's so funny. It's like that. Like, I think the only time women would like actually like take note and appreciate a man's genitalia is when it's in sexual mode, when it's hard. That's when, it piques their interest some, right? But after seeing it multiple times, I feel like, it might stagnate a little bit. Men, we're just not doing that every time. Every time. Please flash me when you walk by every time. I don't care if we've been married 40 years and things are sagging and whatever. Don't care. I want to see it. Let's see it. You gotta love women's bodies. I think it's a big reason why men love women bodies the way we do, and no matter what stage they're in, whether you're young and things are perky and this that, and the other, and you're slimmer, or or whatever size you may be, or when you're older and things are starting to sag and you've picked up a little weight, still we love it all the same. It's the same amount of beauty, even though women are hard on themselves. To us, it's the same amount of beauty. We don't care. Like us, our bodies look like complete ass when we get older. Let's be honest about it. Because when we pick up weight, our weight goes to our gut, and okay, we're not looking that great. And so I understand, when women fall in love with men because they let themselves go. I understand that. Now, if a man falls in love, they're just shallow. They're just shallow people. They've always been a piece of shit. But anyways, any of these things I've talked about, I need to hear women's opinions on them. I need to hear thoughts. I need to hear all kinds of stuff. Please jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Any and all of this. All right. That's going to do it for me. Episode 25, Jay's Weekly Podcast. Until next time, bye.